something for youngins who tryna reach goals. And still can't stop, won't stop. Did the puffy with the bob, smell the roses, no capping, I done a lot, baby.
As far as coaching and teaching goes, and with skills like shooting and all types of different skills of basketball, there's really no one way to do it. There's no one way to teach it to every kid. Every kid takes stuff in different. They have different nuances, things about the way that their body moves, so you have to try certain techniques and certain movements with certain kids, but everybody's always trying to get to the same result. A grandmother who never played basketball can look at her 9 or 10-year-old grandson and know if the shot looks good or it doesn't. Or watch somebody go to the hoop. Anyone could watch somebody go to the hoop and watch them put up a layup and understand if their footwork looks clean or smooth or it doesn't. So everybody knows where they're trying to go, but there's a whole bunch of different routes you can take to get there. So to say it has to be done one way is really not true. And to say one coach understands more than the other about how it should be done is really not true. It's all just opinion, but there are certain things that are flat out incorrect, right? If you try to tell somebody that, you know, when you shoot the ball, you want it to be really flat to go in the hoop, that's flat out false. So some things are flat out false, and some coaches, trainers, parents could be flat out wrong about certain things, and they are a lot of the times. But everybody knows where they're trying to get to, but there's a whole bunch of different ways you can try to get there. And so when you criticize coaches, and that's not only for skill, it's also for winning games, it's for developing IQ, all types of different stuff. It's for making decisions on what you should do as far as what teams you should play for, who you should train with, things you should do in the off season, things you should do with your body. It's all of that is up to opinion, you know, and you could go down the line and find different kids that you know, different pros that you know who have done it the exact opposite way of what most people think is the way to do it, but it's worked for them, right? So you can only criticize coaches and coaching so much. And a lot of it's on the player. So if I tell parents this all the time. If I have one kid at age 10 and his friend at age 10, and they come for the same exact amount of time, and we work on shooting. Let's say shooting, that's the skill that everybody always wants to work on the most. It's also the toughest. It's the one that, you know, people really want to be good at, right? So if we work the same amount, I'm going to teach them the same shit for the most part. They're going to work on the same stuff. And then I'm going to see nuances as we go along as to saying it this way for this kid doesn't work. Showing it to this kid this way, it doesn't work. So we'll bounce through. But they're going to train, right, with the same guy, the same amount of time on the same thing. 6 months later, they are not going to be in the same spot. They're not. You may have an anomaly sometimes where you find two kids who for some reason will, but the vast majority of the time, one is going to be better than the other. Is that my fault? Is that their fault? You know, it's nobody's fault, but it is what it is. That one kid probably has a higher threshold of natural talent or understanding or feel or focus or work ethic or whatever it is than the other kid. So, and the kid that ends up progressing a lot, it's not because of me either. I have help. But I showed this kid too. Is it my fault that this kid didn't progress as much? No, you know, there are things about it that you just can't control. So what you have to do as a player, as a parent, you try to find the people you're most comfortable with, the people you believe in, the people you believe have your best interest at hand, and the people you relate to. It's mostly personality. You're trying to get through the personality stuff. A token saying that I use all the time. We are really just developing personalities and characters, and we're using basketball as the communication vehicle to do that. So a lot of the times, the reason you can't get through to a certain kid, or the reason a kid doesn't like you or doesn't benefit as much from you, is the personalities. Your personalities clash too much. You don't understand his personality or hers. She doesn't understand yours. So because of that, what you might be showing him might be exactly spot on, correct, and very good, but it's not getting through because you just don't jive like that on the personality aspect of it. So there's so many things that could go into it. And as to why teams, you know, in the NBA, and they juggle coaches like musical chairs, is it the coach's fault that they're not winning or not winning championships? Maybe the guys just didn't buy into what he was saying. Maybe they don't listen. Maybe they don't focus. Maybe they party too much. Maybe they care more about the money than they do winning. There's so many things that could go into why stuff doesn't work out. So to blame coaches is usually not correct. Sometimes it is. You may have a coach who's telling you, whatever, a scheme against a certain team, hey, we want to run this zone against this team, and it flat out just doesn't work because that's not how you're going to be able to stop that team. Yeah, coaches could be flat out wrong. Trainers could be flat out wrong about what they're working on with kids, but a lot of the times, it's out of their control. You just have to figure out what I know what I want to do. I know what's right in my mind. So that's how I'm going to teach. That's what I'm going to put out there. That's a perspective I'm going to give. It doesn't mean it's correct. It doesn't mean it's better than the next guy. It's just it's my personality. That's a reflection of my personality and how I'm going to go about it. So you just got to find what's going to work for you as the player, and figure out if you want to stick with that person, if they're right, if they're wrong. But you got to remember, it's more on you as the player. Your jump shot is going to get better because of you, not because of me, teaching you how to shoot. If you want to be a part of Rel Academy, you want to come here and train, go to relacademy.com to learn more about it and inquire. You can shoot a call or a text to 412-660-4790. We love to get you to the academy and get you to experience what we do here.